everybody, and welcome back to Mom's Vlog. This is week number 2 for our 5 love languages. I am doing a collaboration with 3 other YouTubers, and I'm going to be leaving their links down below. You probably will hear a little bit of noise in the background. We let our kids play a video game so we can do this. Our love languages this week mine was quality time, and Ronnie's was acts of service. And if you guys want to know what your love language is, there's a link down below as well to find out what your love language is. There's 5 of them.
You and your wife can find out what it is, and then you can also spend time working on those to really better your relationship.
Even for single people can look to see what they have for the strongest. So it's not just for married couples. So let's talk about this week. This week was a little difficult because all of this last week, Elijah was in the hospital, and then we came home, and we were back and forth between the hospital and home. So it's hard to find quality time in our situation, but we made do. We tried to sit down and have discussions, and
But let me tell you something. Understand this. Our quality time and their quality time are totally different. I'm trying to set up a date night so that we can go out to the movies and something, which absolutely is quality time. I tried to rent
what he thinks is quality time.
Then I wanted to get a movie so we could sit down and watch a movie, which also is quality time, but understand, at least in my relationship, and I know a little bit about women because I've been married to one for however many years.
You know about women?
Sometimes quality time is just sitting here next to them, and we're like, what? Come on, let's do something. But no, you just need to sit there. And the best example I can give you is, say, man, when you're working on a car, or men, when you're working on a car.
There's women that work on cars.
Or you're outside and you're digging a ditch, or you're building something, and sometimes you just want to have your wife there. She may not be doing nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You just want to have her in your presence.
But just there in your presence.
I know.
Like when you were in high school and you played sports and your girlfriend was there watching your game, or you play adult softball or in a rec league of basketball. You just want
Oh my gosh, I thought you were going to say something else.
And you want, you just want your mate there watching you. And so in a sense, sometimes they're like that with quality time. They just want you next to them. That is one major aspect of quality time. Now, don't ever get rid of the fact that you need to take her out for a date night, movies, dinner, stuff like that. But do not forget just sitting next to her and having
conversations, discussions, or just sitting there keeping your mouth shut and letting me talk. I'm just kidding.
Whether you have all kinds of stuff to do or not, take that, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, hopefully not too much past 30 if it's just talking, because we're very
chatty,
oriented. No, we're very driven, and so there's always stuff to do and always stuff you want to get done, but take that time.
As far as acts of service, it's something that us women need to practice. I think sometimes when it comes to act of service in my head is doing something for him. Whether it would be, cleaning, even though most of us already do cleaning and stuff. Make sure you communicate, what can I do for you today? So, no, I'm not going to go work on a vehicle for him, but, something to the fact of, well, our daily chores are already cleaning and doing dishes and whatnot, but maybe
let me tell you,
going to go to the store and get you something, or
I got a simple box or a Tupperware box in the fridge this week with beautiful sandwiches in there already made for my lunch that just said, "Just because I love you." That is a very good act of service, and it's something you don't forget. And she can make your lunch, and if she already does, maybe putting a little love note in there. That is an act of service, because man, whoa, yeah, look at my wife, kind of thing.
I'm sure you bragged about it at work.
Oh, absolutely.
So this week was acts of service and quality time, and how has it helped our relationship grow?
made you respect your partner more, you know, you already do. You're in a marriage. You know,
sometimes you forget, because when you're first married, you want to do all these things. And we've been married 15 years. And after, you know, 15 years, it kind of fades off, and you forget that doing these kinds of things are important to each other. That's why we're doing this video, because the 5 love languages reminds us that we still need to act like we're trying to get each other. You know, we're first married, or we're trying to impress each other. And it's something that you need to continue on going and continue on doing in a marriage. And I think this marriage is not just based on acts of service and stuff, but it's also being committed to what we do. We're still trying to learn each other every day, you know, and just being committed to doing those 5 things, I swear will help you in your relationship, whether you're married or not, 100 times more, because you realize, oh, maybe I actually need to be doing this because it makes my partner happy.
The biggest problem we have is we get lazy when life happens, and you get children and you get a house and you get all these things. You become lazy and you get more concerned with life. What I'm really learning through this is that I did a lot to get her, but I also, if you've studied any part of the 5 love languages, you still have to do stuff to keep her. I know you signed on the dotted line and you said till death do us part, and richer for poor, and sickness and in health, but to have a healthy marriage, you need to do what it takes to keep her. She needs to do the same thing to keep me, which is why these 5 love languages are so crucial and such an amazing thing.
That's one thing I notice about people who want to, you know, their marriages fall apart or their relationships fall apart, is they forget about each other. They just end up doing their own thing, or, you know, they forget about how, especially when you have kids, you're taking care of your kids so much that you forget about each other. And so it's very important to take that time out and do a date night. And even through our situation with my son in the hospital, we still make sure we get a babysitter and that we trust very much. We go out to the movies and have a date night and go to dinner. This is important to us because it reminds us of when we were dating. We put our old school music on when we were dating, and we end up doing the little googly eyes at each other, you know.
Let me tell you something. You put too much emphasis on your children, which you should put all kinds, because your responsibility to nourish them and cherish them and teach them.
Raise them the right way.
But understand, in 18 years they will be gone, and then you will be stuck with this. So you better learn how to keep this and keep this happy, because
you almost dug yourself a hole.
Once the children are gone, all you got left is this. If you don't keep her happy,
yeah, there you go.
You know, that will come back to haunt you once the children are gone.
Hunt you? I'll hunt you down.
So you absolutely, I mean, don't get too obsessed with your children. Well, they got to be, you know, they're 9 years old and they're in 6 different sports at one time and 4 different
And then you have no
clubs
time for your husband because you're doing all sorts of things.
Destroy a marriage.
Yeah.
Life happens, and you are going to have to make adjustments.
Exactly. So quality time may not happen unless I get to see you this week. So
or on video. You can still make quality time, whether it be on the phone.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of Skype, or what do you call it, FaceTime?
Yeah,
I got him an iPod so he could do FaceTime.
FaceTime, but I like the new Google one, which is
Google Hangout.
Google Hangouts.
We do private Google Hangouts between each other.
I mean, they're not necessarily private, but you know, between me and her, and Cayden gets on there. But don't tell me you can't have it, even if you are away from each other.
Yeah, you can sit down and talk to each other over the phone. We are doing our best. Okay, so mine was acts of service. So it's kind of like we switched. Are in between. So last week mine was quality time, now it's acts of service. Ronnie's last week was acts of service, now it's quality time. So like we're totally taking a big switch. So it's going to be the same thing but opposite. Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Just from a different perspective.
Yeah. So now he's got to work on acts of service for me, which he does great already.
So I got to clean the house while you're gone?
Yeah.
That's not just that.
Exactly. It's not just, you know, doing chores around the house, which is already part of what a marriage should be.
What I should do, but I'm not going to do, is send her a dozen roses while she's in the hospital.
No, that's receiving gifts. That's the next week.
But, that's right. See? I just got out of it. Hallelujah.
Nice. No. Me and my big mouth. We're gonna say goodbye. This video has been long enough. I hope you guys are clicking on the other links of the other YouTubers that are doing their 5 love languages collaboration. So make sure you guys go check out theirs. The links are down below, and I appreciate all and everybody that is doing the 5 love languages and with us. And we will see you guys next week for a report back on how the 5 love languages did this week. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao.